Hey everyone, we're going to make some apple pie filling today for an apple pie class that I'm going to teach via Zoom on May the 12th. So we are starting with, this is 8 peeled, chopped and cored apples, and we have about 4 tablespoons of butter. I'm using cane sugar. But you could use brown sugar or white sugar, a little bit of salt, just shy of a tablespoon of cinnamon, and I have some whole nutmeg that we're going to use that I'll grate. Okay, so I'm going to add this butter to this pot of apples, and I'm going to stir it in here. Melt it down. And I have this over medium heat right now, and it'll take a few minutes for the butter to melt. And I'm going to use 1 cup of cane sugar. Some recipes that I have found, I was doing some kind of recipe research and comparing to what I had done, and some recipes call for quite a bit of sugar, and so I tried, and I just find them way too sweet. But the nice thing about doing apple pie filling from scratch is that you can really alter it. So you can add a little bit more sugar, or you could add maple syrup, or you could do brown sugar. You could add a little bit of lemon juice. You can omit the salt if you'd like. You could add sour cream to it. Makes really good flavor. You could add nutmeg, allspice. Okay, so we're going to cook these until they are tender but still crisp. So probably it's under 10 minutes for sure. And then once the butter and the sugar has melted, then I'll add the cinnamon. Okay, so the apples have already cooked down, and I added the cinnamon and the nutmeg in here. I'm going to add the juice of about half a lemon, and then I'm going to taste for flavor. And then if I'm happy with the sweetness and the acidity and the cinnamon and nutmeg, then I'm going to thicken it with a slurry that I've made. I've made my slurry with cornstarch, but you can use flour if you'd like, or you can use tapioca starch. I prefer cornstarch in making pie filling. So I will add those things, and then I'll show you when I put the slurry in how we're going to thicken it up. Okay, so the apples have come up to a pretty good simmer. I'm going to add the slurry, which is a mixture of cornstarch and water, or flour and water. So it's 2 tablespoons of cornstarch and probably about 3 to 4 tablespoons of water. We're going to put this in when it's has a pretty good, not a full boil. And it's going to start to thicken up right away. It's a little hard to stir with one hand. I'm going to turn the heat down a little bit. My camera's all fogging up. And then that's it, you guys. We're going to remove this from the heat. We're going to let this we're going to let it cool down. And then this is something that you guys can make ahead of time. You can freeze this, you can can this, or you can just keep it in your fridge for up to a week, and then you can fill your pie. Sorry, my phone just about died there. So just to recap, there is 8 peeled, chopped and cored apples in here, 1 cup of cane sugar, about 4 tablespoons of butter, a little dash of salt, the juice of half a lemon, 1 tablespoon of cinnamon, and some nutmeg, some whole nutmeg that I grated, and then a slurry at the end. We will see you guys next week for the class. Happy pie baking!